And in the Impact segment tonight, why is the USA spying on the Germans and the French? Aren't they our friends? German leader Angela Merkel, not happy.
Spying among friends does not work at all. That is what I said in June when he was in Berlin, in July, and also yesterday on the phone. We need trust among partners, and this trust needs to be restored now.
Mrs. Merkel referring to President Obama. Joining us now from Washington to explain, Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, author of the novel Hell or Richmond. So, should Chancellor Merkel be teed off, Colonel?
Well, Angela Merkel has a distinctive background. Remember, she was raised up in East Germany. Those were her formative years. Everybody was spied upon. She's allergic to it. But, Bill, everybody spies on everybody. Within the last 48 hours, Bild Zeitung, the German New York Post, broke the story that the German Bundesnachrichtendienst, their CIA, NSA wrapped into one, spies on Americans, our phone calls, emails, instant messaging. And the German spy chief didn't deny it. He just said, oh, our program's not on the scale of the Americans. The French, the former French counterintelligence chief, up until last year, Bernard Squarcini, sounds Italian, but he's French. But he said he was amused that the French, as in Casablanca, they're so shocked about all this. Because he's a former counterintelligence chief. He said, everybody spies on everybody. And he admitted that the French engage in heavy industrial espionage. And back in my time in the intelligence world, I can tell you, Bill, that until the Chinese came along, the French were, in our view, the #1 industrial spy threat. So these relationships, it's like a marriage in which both spouses pretend the other spouse isn't cheating because it's just easier. But così fan tutte, everybody spies on everybody.
And I don't disagree with that. In fact, I think everybody now in the world is a subject. We could be spied upon at any moment by NSA, some kooky guy, Snowden's friends. I mean, so nobody in the world is really protected from this, right?
Well, I think some of the U.S. secure communications are. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the Russian secure communications are pretty well protected. But on the whole, computers and the skill of breaking the codes have gone so far that just about, I believe that just about anything can be broken. Now, I want to stress it. I'm out of the intel game now. I have no access to classified information. But I'm telling you from what I did know in my era, that if there's a problem, U.S. technology will solve it, as far as codes go.
And the reason that the United States spies on France and we assume Britain too and Germany is just to make sure there's no double dealings we don't know about or stuff that the USA should know to protect ourselves. Is that the reason?
Well, first of all, these programs directed against our allies are very small compared to the efforts against
But I heard they were even tapping Merkel's cell phone.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's true or not. That's possible, but that's not a particularly lucrative target, to be honest. But I think
you don't know that. You don't know how Angela. I mean, she could be.
Well, Angela Merkel's probably as straight a shooter as you're going to get in the world today.
That's
but
true.
Really, Bill.
Well, she might be having some interesting, intelligent conversations that maybe our politicians could learn from.
Well, now that's something that's certainly true, but our politicians don't learn very well. But at any rate, Bill, the bottom line is, sometimes if there are key negotiations coming up, crucial negotiations, sure you want to know what the other guys think.
Yeah, you want to know what they're doing and all of that.
This is not a big deal.
I wanted to talk to you about Pakistan. We don't have time. I'm going to bring you back next week. The Obama administration has opened up the Treasury again, $1.2 billion to Pakistan, which is not our friend. So we'll bring you back next week. We'll talk a little bit about that, Colonel. Have a good weekend.